it's up to me. Only the Keyblade Master can open the secret door and change the world.
Well, I'm not gonna betray Sora either.
My friends are my power.
So your heart won this battle.
It is I, Ansem. Lead me into everlasting darkness!
Sora! Forget it. There's no way you're taking Kairi's heart. Kairi.
We may never meet again, but we'll never forget each other.
No matter where we are, our hearts will bring us together again.
Take this. It's my lucky charm. Be sure to bring it back to me.
Don't worry, I will.
Promise? Don't ever forget. Wherever you go, I'm always with you.
Right. Promise. What a mess. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough. It is time for the 4th day, and as you may have noticed, this is going to be a rather long day because quite a lot happens. I mean, it's a particularly important day because it's the day of the struggle. And, yes, we've got a lot of fighting to do today. Which is fun because, obviously, apart from the day where we had lots of mini-games to do, we haven't really had... Well, we had the heart bit, the station of calling and so on and so forth, so I suppose we have had a reasonable amount of gameplay, but... Oh well. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of those things were, because it's too light for fireworks, and they weren't fireworks, they were just kind of smoke clouds that didn't really do anything other than go boom. Oh well.
Who will be the one to break through the ranks and take on our champion Setzer? Cypher, you know? And who will leave today as our new struggle champion?
Hainer! Roxas!
Yes, the crowd is fired up, so you know what comes next. Let's struggle!
Hey now, it's time to introduce today's combatants. The 4 bad boys who struggled their way through the preliminaries. Regular finalist and head of the Twilight Disciplinary Committee, Cypher. Completely out of nowhere. Who knew he'd make it so far this year? Vivi. An underground favorite and local attitude problem, Hainer. It's his first trip to the finals. And struggler number 4, who happens to be my absolute favorite customer, Roxas! So, who will win this sweltering summer struggle? Who will take home the grand prize? The summa cum laude of struggle, the 4 Crystal Trophy! And a chance to take on our defending champion, Setzer! It won't be long now, folks. I suggest our challengers go over the official struggle rules before we begin.
Now, if you're wondering what the hell summa cum laude means, it's essentially with the greatest honour. So, I mean, it's rarely used as a thing, but they just decided to use it here for whatever reason. It's Latin honours are generally used to indicate the level of distinction with which a academic degree was earned, but it don't really get used that much anymore, I think. Either way, seeing as we are about to enter the struggle competition, I feel since we are seeing loads of characters, it's time to do a little bit more voice acting, people work. We will begin with Cypher and company, because obviously we've known them for a little bit longer, and I've avoided talking about them. So Cypher is from Final Fantasy VIII, and is voiced by Will Friedle. Now, in Final Fantasy VIII, Cypher Almasi is a classmate of Squall Leonhardt, as well as his main rival, and yeah, they end up being enemies, although they never meet in the Kingdom Hearts series, and also are completely different ages from the looks of things. Now, Will Friedle, I didn't recognise much at all, but you will probably recognise him once I tell you what roles he's been in. He's Terry McGinnis / Batman in Batman Beyond, but most importantly, he's the voice of Ron Stoppable in Kim Possible, which I just find awesome, because that's what I most recognise as a voice, because I've never watched Batman Beyond, but I have watched Kim Possible, and he's Ron Stoppable, which is just awesome. Now, he has been in various other things. He's voiced Deadpool in The Ultimate Spider-Man, and a few things, but I would say Ron Stoppable and Batman are his biggest roles. Now, Rai is based on, I believe it's Raijin from Final Fantasy VIII, who's basically one of Cypher's lackeys. And he constantly uses and funnily enough, that's the reason why I started using as much as I do. It's because of him, because he uses it so much that it just got stuck in there. Also with Rai, fun fact is that he's voiced by Kazuya Nakai, who also did Waka in both the original Kingdom Hearts game and Final Fantasy X, where Waka first appeared.
Sorry, man. Wait, what am I sorry for?
And I will get into his English voice actor shortly, once Roxas and Hayner have finished making up and begun their fight.
The struggle tournament will be between Roxas and his best friend, Hayner.
So, as we begin our struggle fight, Rai is voiced by Brandon Adams, who is most well known for playing Jesse Hall in the first two Mighty Ducks and Kenny DeNunes in The Sandlot. And I think he's also Zeke in Michael Jackson's Moonwalker Smooth Criminal segment. But that's about it. Now, before I move on to Fu and Vivi, basically with Struggle, you've got to beat balls out of your opponent and try and collect them, so that when time runs out, you have the most balls. Either that, or you collect all 200 of the balls potentially available on the field, and then you win automatically without the timer going down. So you have those two options available to you. Right now I would probably recommend just going for the try and get as many as possible. Later on it's easily possible to get the full 200 orbs before time runs out, but right now it's not going to happen.
And the winner is Roxas! Not even friendship will slow this kid down, and Hayner put up a great fight too.
I lost. Oh, I can't believe it. I guess I taught you well.
I had a lot of fun fighting you.
Yeah, well, I didn't, wise guy.
Hey, let's find a way to cheer you up.
Nah, that's all right. Out of the way. You in a rush to lose?
Fun fact, this is probably one of the only
Don't mess with your
fights in a cutscene that actually has a crowd in it.
Just look at those sparks.
This
flying.
never
I guess
happens
Cypher
again,
didn't expect to fight one of his
which
own
is
boys.
rather amusing.
When did Vivi get so tough?
Well, I wouldn't say he's tough, he's just more kind of fast. That's being a bit more tough.
You're mine. I'm not sure what just happened. But the winner is Vivi in a positively blistering comeback.
That's not Vivi.
Huh?
Thrash him.
It looks like Cypher's withdrawn from the struggle for third place.
So I'm in third now? Oh, baby!
So yes, something is incredibly weird with Vivi. In the meantime, Fu, who is Cypher's other friend, who is also from Final Fantasy VIII, is exactly the same. The relationship between the three is exactly the same in Final Fantasy VIII as it is here. And before I move on to her English voice actor, or actress, in the Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts 2, Fu is voiced by Ryo Natsuki, who also provided the voice for Lulu in Final Fantasy X, and Lucretia Crescent in Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII. So it's rather amusing then, because Rai's Japanese voice actor voices Waka, who is the eventual husband of Lulu. So that's a nice little link there. Either way, Fu is voiced by Gillian Bowen, who hasn't really been in a whole lot. She's Laurie / Melissa / Mrs. Dorsey and stuff in King of the Hill. And she's also Kyo in Pompoko, but that is about it. Now, if you want to do some levelling up, and I would certainly recommend that you do so, you can fight Cypher after he has had his struggle match. He's very, very easy, and you should be able to whack him a few times. And basically, if you want to continue fighting him, basically just leave the area, come back and fight him again. It's great. I mean, obviously it could get a little bit tedious if you do it too much, but I wasn't that far off of getting to level 4. And I wanted to be at level 4 because the next couple of fights can be a little bit challenging if you aren't prepared. So I just wanted to make doubly sure that I was completely fine.
Keep it clean, fellas.
And now, the match you've been waiting for. Roxas versus Vivi!
And so we begin our fight against Vivi. Now, Vivi is originally from Final Fantasy IX, not Final Fantasy VIII, in which he is kind of one of the main protagonists. And it was the final main game of the series to be released on the original PlayStation. Now, Vivi is voiced in Japan, rather brilliantly, by Riku Otani, who you should recognise as the voice of Pikachu, which I never knew, and that is amazing. Her English voice actor is Melissa Disney, who hasn't been in a ridiculous amount, but there are some roles that you really should recognise her as, and that is Courtney Gears in the Ratchet & Clank games, and she's also Laura the Fawn in Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, or as it really should be known as it is in Europe, Gateway to Glimmer. I much prefer that title. Now, fun little interesting fact about Vivi is that Vivi is one of the only Final Fantasy characters in the entire series of Kingdom Hearts that was not originally designed by Tetsuya Nomura himself. Because, I mean, all the Final Fantasy VII cast, I should correct myself to say, are Tetsuya Nomura, and he's pretty much been lead character designer on most of the games since then, but he wasn't on Final Fantasy IX.
Again? Again?
Good Lord, Roxas, you can't catch a break, can you? So this is an instance where using the reversal 2 hits reversal tactic works brilliantly, because the reversal also affects the other enemies in the area, which is so useful. Like, just so ridiculously useful, and I'm so glad that I figured out a way of cheating these guys out of, well, cheating them into an easy battle, shall I say.
Roxas! All right. Fight, fight, fight. You really don't remember. It's me. You know, Axel.
Axel?
Talk about blank with a capital B. Man, oh man. Even the Dusks aren't gonna crack this one.
Wait a sec. Tell me what's going on.
This town is his creation, right? Which means we don't have time for a Q&A. You're coming with me, conscious or not. Then you'll hear the story.
Ah, default face, kill it with fire! Ah! It's just so blank, it's hideous and horrifying, and just no.
What's going on?
Number 13, Roxas. The Keyblade's chosen one.
Okay, fine. You asked for it.
Now this rather cool tune is the 13th Struggle. The name will make more sense a little bit later on, But yes, we get to fight Axel, who is one of the fan favourite characters in the Kingdom Hearts franchise now. I will go into him a little bit more later on, but Axel's pretty damn cool. And everybody loves him, which is why he's kind of become so important as we have moved further into the franchise.
So it was you.
Roxas! This man speaks nonsense.
Roxas! Don't let him deceive you!
Roxas!
Roxas!
Roxas! Roxas! Roxas!
Hayner! Pence! Olette! Hayner! Pence! Olette!
What? What just happened?
Huh? How did I get here? Roxas!
Ladies and gentlemen, Roxas, our new top struggler!
Roxas?
Roxas, it's starting!
And now, we get to take on Setzer, who originates from Final Fantasy VI. And Setzer's quite cool. Although there is the slightly weird thing of Setzer's portrayed as a villain here, or an antagonist, and yet he's a protagonist in Final Fantasy VI. And Setzer is also one of the only characters not designed by Tetsuya Nomura included in the game. Originally Tetsuya Nomura did intend to only include Final Fantasy characters that he himself designed, but then he received pressure from his staff, and so included Setzer and Vivi, and so on and so forth.
Hey, Rucksack. How about you throw the match for me?
Roxas! Focus!
Let me win, and I'll make it worth your while.
Get real.
Roxas, our underdog hero, versus Setzer, our defending champion. The winner of this match will be the true champion. That's bragging rights for a whole year, folks.
Whatever you think is right, you're wrong. And that is a big mistake. My life is a chipping. Time to amp it up.
Now, that quote there is apparently slightly misquoted from the original Final Fantasy VI, which the line is, my life is a chip in your pile, Antioch. But, oh well. Now, the fight with Setzer is really surprisingly easy. I mean, he taunts a lot and he's a bit useless. But what's really awesome is that he is voiced by Crispin Freeman, who has been in a ridiculous amount. He's one of those stupidly prolific voice actors, voicing like Alucard in Hellsing, Kyon in The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Siegfried Stoffen in Soul Calibur, Itachi Uchiha in Naruto, Rude in Final Fantasy VII stuff. He's Hideki Motosuwa in Chobits. He's the Prince/Turnip Head in Howl's Moving Castle. He's just everywhere. And also, I think this is correct, but we will see in the fullness of time, He's also the voice of the Master Lumen in Bayonetta 2, which I'm so excited for! He's also Sundowner in Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, apparently. He's Garrett in Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. He's Regal Bryant in Tales of Symphonia.
You did it! That was awesome,
And just generally, he's in a ridiculous amount. And it's not the only role that he does in Kingdom Hearts 2. But we will return to Crispin Freeman when we return to Crispin Freeman. Now it's time for an incredibly long cutscene. Or set of cutscenes. Now, you have two potential outcomes. If you lose the fight with Setzer, you just get like a medal, but if you win it, you get the Champion's Belt. It's kind of like what happens with the fight with Leon at the start of the original game. You don't have to win it, but you get extra goodies if you do.
As promised.
Thanks a ton, Roxas.
One more treasure for us to share.
I've got a present too, for all of us.
Whoa.
Kyrie, wait up! Hey, do you feel like going out to the island? Titus and Walk are all wrapped up in their ball game, and they won't go with me. Not today. Sorry. Aw, why not? Do you remember those boys who used to hang out with us? Riku? Yeah. I wonder whatever happened to him. I sure miss him. He's far away, but I know we'll see him again. Sure. Of course we will. And the other boy? What other boy? The one who was with Riku and me all the time. We played together on that island. His voice always used to be there, and now it's gone. I can't think of his face or his name. I feel awful about it. So I told myself, I'm not going to the island until I remember everything about him. Are you sure you didn't make him up?
Nominate? Nominate. What's happening to me?
Who are you? And that's not my name. I'm Kyrie.
Kyrie. I know you. You're that girl he likes.
Who? Please, a name.
I'm Roxas.
Okay, Roxas. But can you tell me his name?
You don't remember my name? Thanks a lot, Kyrie.
Huh?
Okay, I guess I can give you a hint. Starts with an S.
Are you okay? Kairi. What's that? A letter. I wrote it yesterday, to the boy I can't remember. I said that no matter where he is, I'll find him. One day. And when I stopped writing, I remembered we made a promise. Something important. This letter is where it starts, I know it.
Wow. I hope he gets it.
He will. Starts with an S. Right? Sora?
Restoration at 79%.
His progress is astounding.
So, what happened?
Namine's encounter with Roxas put his heart in contact with Kairi's. And that in turn affected Sora. You see?
Namine. She's a wonder.
She wasn't born like other nobodies. She can interfere with the hearts and memories of Sora and those aligned with him.
But whose nobody is she?
I could tell you. But first, perhaps you could tell me your true name.
It's Ansem.
It's an honor, Ansem.